The mind body spirit connection is so cliche because I think a lot of times when people talk about it, they don't really fully understand it. And it's really deep. And you can really come to the conclusion of understanding it if you dive into the physics. Um, I mean, it's definitely through the quantum mechanics, quantum physics, string theory, because the reality is everything in the universe is created on a vibration. This is the string theory. You have string theory works like a rubber band or a guitar string, right? It gets plucked and it vibrates at a certain level. And as that's vibrating, it's sending up other vibrations that are like at a different level and it's spreading out. That's actually what creates the foundation of physicalness is a vibration that are all in unison together to create a physical experience in the realm we live in. So when you look at your mind, actually let's start with your spirit. When you look at your spirit and really understand your soul and what your spirit looks like, what it feels like, what's inside that. There's a whole meditation on that about looking at your soul and your spirit. That vibration is deep inside you and permeates all around you, creating your physical form. And it comes in like a pillar and then expands. So when this energy is coming in as a pillar, it comes in through our minds. And every thought we have, conscious or not, is creating vibrations, different vibrations. This is what makes up our aura for our body. And this is what feeds our physical experience and is like the middle piece in between our spirit and our body. And when we look at the spirit is dumping in information, but the mind is a control freak. And the mind is also processing all these other things because it's designed to keep us safe. That is the purpose of the mind, is to be able to have independent thought, work in this physical reality we live in, and be able to like cognize all of this. And in order to do that and to keep us safe, it's constantly assessing everything. And so it's the widget, if you will, of the spirit to the body. So when our mind is having negative thoughts, it's by default, and we see this when we're looking more at the physiology of the body, our brain starts dumping hormones into the system to respond to those thoughts, right? Like our fight, flight, or freeze from the amygdala part of our brain or the reptilian part of our brain. It's it's creating those one of those three options. And one of those three options is happening, the response our body is having is being dumped in to our body through our limbic system, changing our heart rate, our breathing patterns, all these different things that are causing and creating a physical reaction in our body. So when we're having this negative thought, it's a threat. Our brain is making a threat. Our soul now is starting to like, be like, no, 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 it's okay, but it can't hear it. It's just the mind is saying there's a threat, there's a threat, there's a threat to this body that's going to lose its experience and its form. So it responds. When our body responds, it creates these experiences that later, within minutes, turns into toxins in our body. And once it turns into toxins, we run into a new situation where we have physical problems. And so when we have physical problems, this could be catching a cold. It could be a disability. It could be, um, an injury. And all of this by the way, is completely natural. Like this is intended, right? Like I said, the brain's job is to keep us safe. The body's job is to respond to also keep us safe. And so that's why we have all of these situations in our world where people are so reactive, is because they're not in this mind body spirit connection. And so when you're looking at these components and how they intertwine, it's just this constant flow of energy. And it's vital to our personal growth, understanding your own mind, body, spirit connection. I will always tell you, no one is the same. Everyone is unique. Even if you both say, yeah, I have XYZ, right? Oh, I got a cold too. Well, your experience with your cold is completely different than my experience with my cold or any of your colds. Everyone's mind, body, and spirit will respond differently to it. Some people will go to the doctors and get medication. Some people will crawl into bed and sleep it out. Some people will take supplements. Some people will ignore it and let it turn into pneumonia, right? We all have these different decisions we make in our minds about how we're going to deal with it, our body's response to a cold. And this affects our spirit. If we get so ill and so sick, it starts to erode our spirit. And instead of having this ongoing, beautiful flow of energy coming down through that pillar, it starts to get congested right about here, right above our heads. It's getting congested. And as this congestion happens, our souls are not being fed. And that's when we end up with what society labels as disorders. And so if we're having these experiences that are blocking our mind, body, spirit, we can't have personal growth. The only way to have personal growth is to receive information, cognize it, and act upon it. And being able to do it again and again until we master it. And then we get new information, process that, and cognize it, and then create outcomes from it, right? That is the beauty of the mind, body, spirit connection and why it's so vital, because every one of those pieces has to be in that vibrational harmony together. And if they're not in that vibrational harmony together, any one of those breaks, that system breaks and starts eroding the others. And you have the ability to kill yourself inadvertently by having these systems broken. They actually have to stay in harmony because that is how the human is designed. And you can look up through all the scriptures, all the ancient records, from whatever context of beliefs or cultural construct you're living in. This is not new. The difference is science is catching up to it with objective evidence. And people are still seeking more, right? Obviously, the CERN project, that's what that is about. So as people are seeking more information and trying to grow and evolve, we're going to watch society evolve. But if you're not on par with that and you're not having this mind, body, spirit connection, you can't continue the journey. So think about that and think about how blissful you are in life and do an assessment about where your mind, body, spirit connection is. Where do you need to lean in, right? Do you just sit or do you get some exercise with your body? Do you not take in information? Are you just scrolling, looking at other people's lives? Or are you actually learning something new? Find out what you're passionate about and go study it. And if your spirit's low, there's a gazillion outlets for that. Anywhere from like just thinking about your spirit and what you believe in the universe and your soul, engaging in different communities that have different beliefs and constructs around it. They're all true. None of them are not true. You just find the one that aligns with you and then you fill in the blanks. But when you are seeking personal growth, That is the vital connection, is these three equal the personal growth. So you are having a human experience so you can break free from your karma, so you can be in samadhi.